Well, greetings everyone. It's Chris MacLellan, the Bowtie Guy, for another special edition of Healing Ties video podcast. And my special guest today is Linda Maurice from Nova Southeastern University Lifelong Learning Institute. How did I do?
You did very well. It's a mouthful. Or for short, we just say NSULLI.
I think acronyms are better.
In this case, yes. It would take up too much time in the podcast to say those long words.
But I've been practicing all day.
Okay, so you can if you want.
Well, it's great to see you, Linda.
It's wonderful.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your wonderful program?
I can. Nova Southeastern's Lifelong Learning Institute has been around since 1977.
Okay.
And it was founded to complete this university's vision of learning from young children, preschool,
right, all
the way up through maturity, older adulthood.
I like that, maturity.
Yeah, there are certain words you don't hear us use here, and I bet you can guess what they are.
Can I say these on a podcast?
Why not?
Older people, seniors,
geriatrics. We don't use those terms. Geriatrics is used, but not by us. It's really more of a clinical term for the academia world. But we are continuing education, learning for fun. And on campus, which is where we are now, we have a program that runs full year, all year round. October through May, we have a program that is Monday through Thursday with 2 classes a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, with a break for lunch. During the summer, we do run a program also, but it's run 3 mornings a week with usually just one class a morning, although we've been stretching that too. Mm-hmm. And the primary focus of the type of classes that we offer are humanities-based. We survey our membership, and right now on campus we have close to 300 on-campus members. We have more than doubled in less than 5 years.
Wow.
And yes. It just has to do with this is what people want to do.
When you give people something that they want, they will come.
That's right. What does the movie say? Build it and
they will come. Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that was a great movie.
It was a wonderful movie. But we survey our members, and a lot of people stereotype what mature adults want. And the stereotype is that they want health topics or self-help. I always joke and say that what we don't do is a lecture like, you're 65, you retire, so now what? How not to be depressed or how not to develop diabetes when you're over 65. Nobody would come to those classes.
Exactly.
Nobody would come. Mm-hmm. Instead, they want learning for fun. They want a lecture on history, politics, literature, music, art, as if they were going for a degree, but they're not. They're doing it for fun. No homework, no tests.
Learning is supposed to be fun.
It is, although when we were younger, we had to do it with tests and homework and research papers and 4 degrees and later degrees. But at a mature age, they've been there, done that. And yes, while some people do want to go back to get a master's or a PhD or an undergraduate degree in later life, most of our people really want to do it just for fun. They want to sit back, listen to an expert in a field, whether it's a PhD professor or someone who has an expertise and can bring knowledge to the classroom, and they just want to listen. Occasionally we make them do readings, but usually it's just laid back listening. Laid back listening.
Yeah. You've got an exciting program going on today.
Yes, we do.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Yes, this is very special. We do a lot of community collaborations, and what's going on behind us in our classroom today is a special collaboration with members from the Lifelong Learning Institute and young adult and teen actors from the Exceptional Theater Company right here in Broward County.
Okay.
And it's a theater company for special needs, youth and adults.
Okay, wonderful.
And it's our members, and they're going to be reading a book and then developing a production. I have no idea what the production's going to look like. It's a grant-funded program, and this today and next week, 2 days of working together, and then the public, anybody that wants to, is invited to come see this production next Friday. So it's very exciting, going into the classroom and seeing older faces, young faces, people in wheelchairs, people with special needs. It's heartwarming. It really is.
It's bringing people together.
It is.
And we're learning from each other.
It is. It's also intergenerational. And
that is so important.
It's a very hot buzzword.
Yes.
And we have done other intergenerational collaborations. We have done Florida history projects with high school seniors right here at NSU's University School with our members. Instead of just learning about Florida history in a book, they have come here and they have interviewed people who have lived in Florida for a long time. And there are people who have lived here in Florida for a long time. Doesn't always happen, but there are.
There's natives?
There are some natives or people who've lived here since the 40s or 50s. Those are almost like
Those
natives.
are almost like
almost
natives.
like. And that's been a wonderful collaboration.
Right.
We've done literature collaborations with the Literature Honors Society here at Nova. We've taken our members on field trips to go see youth productions with the Fort Lauderdale Children's Theater. We try to do anything and everything. In addition, speaking of off-campus, in addition to what we do here in our classroom year-round, we also have collaborations with over 25 locations off-campus. The majority of those are continuing care communities, CCRCs, continuing care retirement communities, like independent assisted living, where the folks there no longer have the ability to get to us on campus, so we go to them. And a lot of people who've never been to a CCRC think, oh, they play bingo, mahjong, they have karaoke kind of music, and that is old-fashioned what they did, but now they listen to university lectures as well. And we also have, very exciting, 2 new collaborations this year with 2 municipalities, the city of Coconut Creek and the city of Coral Springs. And they have brought us in to provide lectures to their residents. And they don't specify retirees, mature, older adults. They don't specify. They just say lifelong learning.
Lifelong learning.
And last night we had a lecture about the fundamentals of jazz music in the commission chambers in the city of Coconut Creek, where the mayor is, and we had about 70 or 80 people there, including there was a little girl who must have been about 8 or 9 years old, but her mother brought her along to listen to a lecture on jazz.
Oh my goodness, that is terrific.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We don't live inside a little box. We don't define ourselves as being a certain age to a certain age. Actually, a woman whose child is participating in the theater program today, she approached me. She said, I've never been here before. I didn't know this existed. My mother would probably be interested. Is there a minimum age? And I said, no, there's no minimum, there's no maximum. It's lowered. If we had to look at the demographics, it's definitely lowered.
Okay.
When I started about 8.5 years ago, we had about 120 people, 70% were women, 30% were men, mostly retired teachers, housewives. The men were primarily there because they didn't play golf or tennis, and their wives said, I found this for you, go, get out of the house, just go.
And it's always good to do what your wife says.
Yeah, and we didn't have anybody in their 50s or 60s then, mostly late 70s and up, and now, all these years later, we have about 50-50 men to women, 50%.
That is terrific.
And we have a lot of people, especially in their 60s, especially men, who are looking at this as something intellectual to do.
Stimulating the mind.
Yeah, I mean, the two of us, we're aging boomers. We're not going to play bingo and mahjong, although I hear it's very interesting. I hear mahjong is very interesting and mind challenging. But we want the niche retirement. We want the interest. I mean, for instance, if you wanted to learn about cooking, you could go study cooking in your retirement. You can go retire to a cooking community.
Yeah, sure.
You could retire, not yet here at Nova, but you could retire to a university-based retirement community. Hoping we'll have one here one day.
I'd like to be a part of that.
Okay, well, we can maybe make it happen.
And we've got some exciting news.
Yes, we do. We do. We are going to be running a radio show.
Radio? I wonder who's.
Well, it's not mine.
Some guy with a bow. Some guy with a bow tie.
Does that mean that I have to wear one too?
Well, we might be able to find one for you. But no, I'm really happy. We'll be bringing Healing Ties to Nova Southeastern University.
NSU.
NSU. We'll be starting that in May after my graduation.
That's right.
But I'm really excited to bring Healing Ties and my new show, Answers for Caregivers, here, the Lifelong Learning Institute. It's going to be great having some of the staff and faculty on the show.
Yes, I didn't mention Nova that the Lifelong Learning Institute, we are under the umbrella of the College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Okay.
And even though we are not a health-based program, it is a wonderful collaboration because there is a big component of brain health, brain education that the university does through the College of Medicine, and we will hopefully be lining up opportunities for you to interview the dean and some of the other faculty who are working in this field.
Yeah, that's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So for our listeners here in Broward County, Florida, how can somebody get in contact with you?
Well, if you're watching this, then you're definitely on the web, so you know how to work a computer. I don't think you can see it right behind me, but our web address is www.nova.edu/lifelong learning. If you forget that or it's complicated, just Google Nova Southeastern University Lifelong Learning Institute. Or if you don't even remember the lifelong learning part and what it's called, Google Nova Southeastern, and then in the search engine just type in lifelong learning and it will find us.
Thanks for joining me today, Linda.
Okay. Oh, and if you want to call us, it's 954. Old-fashioned phone. We forgot about the phone.
The old-fashioned phone.
Old-fashioned phones. You can call us, 954-262-8471.
It's great seeing you today.
It's wonderful seeing you, Chris. Thank you for having me on the show.
I'm Chris MacLellan, the Bow Tie Guy. I'm creating a life to love after caregiving ends through writing, travel, and being with awesome people like Linda Maurice. Make it a great day. We'll see you in another episode of Healing Ties. Bye-bye.